Hey guys, welcome back to another Technique Tuesday video. In last week's video, I was showing you how to play different melodies in one hand in the form of counterpoint, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to play melody over accompaniment, how to recognize a melody, and how to emphasize a melody over accompaniment. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and make sure to check the notifications bell to never miss a new video. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to give us a like. In music in general, we usually have some sort of a melody and accompaniment. What does melody mean and what does accompaniment mean? If you're a beginner, you might struggle to distinguish between the two. We usually describe melody as something that's memorable, something that you can remember, a tune that you can sing back easily, as opposed to an accompaniment, which usually is chords or broken chords or some kind of a pattern that's not so memorable. This is the easiest way to describe the difference between melody and accompaniment. Also, accompaniment tends to have usually more harmony notes to support the melody. In piano playing, the melody can be either in the left hand or in the right hand, and the accompaniment can be in the other hand, but in more difficult cases you can have melody and accompaniment in one hand. So the right hand can play the melody and accompaniment at the same time, and that's going to be very difficult because you have to emphasize the melody over the accompaniment even if both voices or both parts are in one hand. In this video I want to show you two examples of emphasizing melody over accompaniment. In the first easier exercise I'm going to show you how to emphasize a melody in one hand over accompaniment in the other hand. And if you manage to master that, then you can try the second example, which is a lot harder and more advanced, where we have melody and accompaniment in both hands. So we have four parts all together, but it's not counterpoint, it's not independent melodies, it's melody and accompaniment. Many times when you look at sheet music, you might not be able to know which one is the melody, which one is the accompaniment without hearing it, and most of the time there is no indication in the sheet music that this is the melody, that's the accompaniment. Now, clues you can look for, just like as you can see in this example on the screen now, the right hand melody seems like something very fluid, it has a big slur on it and it's a single note melody, and the left hand is just repeating some staccato chords. So that's usually a clue for you that the left hand is playing accompaniment, because the staccato repeated chords are not really something that you can sing back or memorize very easily, but the right hand pitches outline more of a melody that's more singable. So always look for slurs when you're trying to look for a melody, and chords, broken chords, or notes which don't really form a melody are usually a clue that it's the accompaniment. So let's have a look at this first example, which is going to be Waltz by Kabalevsky, number 13. And again, we're going to do the first line from both pieces. And if you feel inspired to learn the songs from beginning to end, the sheet music is going to be in the description below. Every time you approach melody and accompaniment, make sure to always play the melody first in one hand and then practice the accompaniment in the other hand, just so you understand how the two parts work before you start putting it together. So let's start with the right hand. It's in 3/4 in D minor, so we have one B flat, and it's quite stretchy, so we have to make sure that the melody stays nice and connected. So we start on the A, 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. And as you could see, we've got two slurs, and I lifted up my hand between the slurs, but I kept all the notes connected inside the slur. So once again. And now let's see the left hand. The left hand is starting in the treble clef, so D and F, and the second chord is C and E, so 1 3 and 2 4. Now right from the beginning, try to practice this left hand very, very gently but accurately, the two notes going down together as opposed to, and very short staccato but gentle. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and make sure you lift up for the rest so it doesn't sound like Okay, so that's the two hands separately. Now we know how to play the right hand melody and how to play the gentle accompaniment. Let's put it together. So concentrating on keeping the right hand very connected and louder than the left hand chords. Now, the most common thing that happens when you first start doing melody and accompaniment is that the left hand, or wherever the accompaniment is way too loud and overpowers the melody, like this. And as you can hear, this is not something that you want to hear very loud when you play this piece. It doesn't make it prettier, but it supports the melody as a gentle staccato pulse in the background. Another thing that can happen when you play this piece is that the right hand lifts up with the left, like this. So don't let the right hand come up, the right hand stays connected. But I showed you already this in another video, how to play legato against staccato or detached notes. Now this was the first line of the valse. If you like it, you can play it until the end. It's a beautiful little piece. It's around grade 2 level if you are interested in the difficulty. Let's move on to the second example, which is by Schumann, A Little Romance. And this is from the album For the Young, number 19. Now, as you can see, this looks a lot more complicated. And in both hands, we've got melody, where the stems are going up. And we've got accompaniment for the notes or chords, where the stem is going down. And we can see this both in the right hand and the left hand. So altogether, we've got 4 parts: right hand stem up, right hand stem down, left hand stem up, left hand stem down. And you can already see from the legato lines that the stem up is going to be the melody, and the chords, the quaver chords in the bottom part, are going to be the accompaniment. Now, this is double hard because not only you have to think about left and right hand, you have the strong notes in one hand and the weak notes in the same hand as well. So you have to really work on making some fingers stronger than the other ones. Again, let's take this into parts. Let's start with the right hand top part, the melody. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and that's the melody in the right hand. Now let's see the chords in the right hand. So we start on A and D, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... Now let's see the left hand melody. It starts number 1 on the E, and then we do a thumb crossing. Fingering is crucial in this piece to be able to do the double voicing all the way through in both hands. Otherwise, you won't be able to do legato or reach the notes. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... So as you can see, it's the same melody as in the right hand, but the accompaniment is a little bit different. So let's see the accompaniment chords, starting on A and D, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... So let me start by putting the right hand melody and accompaniment together. So starting on the E, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... And as you could hear, I was making my chords as quiet as possible, instead of sounding like this. It's very difficult because you're playing the loud notes with the weak fingers and you're playing the quiet notes with your two strong fingers. So you really have to concentrate on putting some heaviness and weight into those upper notes and playing the accompaniment very gently. Now let's see the left hand. Starting on 1. And now comes the most challenging part, when you can do this hands separately, emphasizing the melody in both hands. Let's put it together. So once again in slow motion. The things that can go wrong in this piece is releasing the sustain notes, not holding them all the way to the end, not making the melody legato, lifting up with the staccato chords, and obviously making the chords very loud, something like this. So that's the absolute opposite of what it should sound like. And that's how the whole piece should go. It's not an easy piece to play. It's around grade 4 or 5. So if you feel inspired to learn this beautiful romance by Schumann, it's going to be in the description below. So I hope this video helped to shed some light on melody and accompaniment, how it can go from simple forms to very complicated forms like this little etude by Schumann. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Be patient with melody and accompaniment, especially in one hand. It's not easy to control the fingers, especially the loudness, and depending on the piano you play on, it might be much easier or much harder. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, subscribe for more.